are you feeling now after this one? This part of the mission has been accomplished.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's the best way to describe it is heartwarming, because people didn't quite know what to expect from the game, and we've gotten a lot of emails and a lot of messages, and people seem just really happy and kind of surprised by what we did, and that just makes us feel great.
And for me, it's kind of a return home. This is the game that was in my imagination 35 years ago when I was moving little bits of cardboard around the table. And it's just amazing that our team has brought that to life in this level of fidelity. And I think of all the Battletech games we've done, and MechWarrior, I mean, this is like the 21st video game in the franchise. And I think it is the best in terms of immersion into the world of Battletech. You really get a sense of the place and the people and the politics and the economics.
Why people use these giant
battle
mechs.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I'm proudest of too.
Yeah, and I just could not be more proud of the team's accomplishments in this thing.
Well, the big thing is prototyping and iteration. So we did, I think, 7 prototypes of combat until we got the one that felt like Battletech, but sort of in a modern era.
And I think that to me is the most interesting component. Our lead design, Akiva, was really fundamental in this in terms of finding a way to introduce modern mechanics to recreate the feel of the original game, but with a play pattern that is, faster, more modern than a 35-year-old board game. But yet, to all of us who played that game, this feels like that game. But it isn't. It's actually a new version, right, of that game. But it captures all of the tactics and the emotions of that original game.
You really feel the heat, the use of heat, falling down, all of that stuff, and of course your mech warriors inside there, they're not just robots, they're being piloted. So that was important to us too.
If we would be talking about in terms of the board game rules, the editions, the first, the second edition, third edition, which edition would this be in Battlefield?
That would be the 2018 edition.
That's exactly what my answer was going to be, yeah. Battletech 2018.
And that, I agree. I mean, I think that was one of our greatest challenges, and I'm very happy with the results, which was to take a very deep game but make it accessible. It is really deep, right? I mean, you've got all the kind of normal tactical considerations of cover and flanking and these kind of things, but then there are some things that are very unique about battle mechs, such as heat, like Mitch mentioned, and stability for getting them to fall down and then being able to target, and some things like evasion, which was a way that we were able to really emphasize the defensibility of the smaller mechs, right? So there is, as you say, it's very deep, even on the tactical level, and then you step up to the metagame, and all of a sudden, every hit you took, every wound that you took for your mech warriors now has impact
on your mercenary company. Yeah. The other thing that we did was try to surface the right information at the right time. So it's like, okay, I know I have line of sight, and then I can drill into that even deeper. It's like, okay, what's my chance to hit? Why is my chance to hit like that? But you don't have to do all that if you don't want to, and that was important. It's not a fiddly game. It's a game you can fiddle with.
Why did the clan show up?
Why, Jordan? Why did the clan show up?
Well, the original kind of inspiration for Battletech was the Roman successor states, right? The idea that after, which were, the height of Rome equates to our Star League, and after the killing of Julius Caesar, you had the kind of fracturing, this beginning of this long, hundreds of years long fracturing of the Roman Empire, and it started to really consume itself, right, as they battled with each other. And the end of that story is the Huns, right, who come in and sack Rome and sack, and so I knew that there had to be our equivalent of that kind of warrior race, right? That's very different than the Romans who were there. And so the clans became that for us, right? That's all the kind of fictional side. On the technology side, their Omnimechs, actually, the concept of the Omnimechs developed as a necessity to when we were doing the Battletech Center, because we had developed the very first 3D multiplayer games that were available to the public at the Battletech Center, and it was a very giant cheat in terms of how we accomplished it through these pre-rendered sprites, because you couldn't do 3D, real 3D in that time. So we did these pre-rendered sprites at multiple rotations and then scaled them to create the 3D world. But we had a limited memory. So I had to be able to figure out how we could take a small number of components and make a large number of mechs. And so that's where the Omni-Mech concept came from, and then that became part of the clans idea. They
It was a
merged together.
classic form follows function sort of scenario.
Yeah.
What do we need? Okay, how do we sell that?